My name is Steve Smith. This is TQA Weekly. If ever you have any questions, comments, suggestions for topics, email me at ask@tqaweekly.com. Go to my website, tqaweekly.com, where you can go to contact form, and email me directly, or use the comments section of each of the show notes to actually interact with the community there. And of course, if you're already on YouTube, you can drop your comment down below. And if you want to get this episode 24 to 48 hours in advance, everyone, help me make this show better and even become a patron, go to patreon.com/TQA Weekly, read everything that you get depending on which level that you contribute, and of course what I am trying to do on there. And today's topic is all about the dark blue flip side of blue light. This is pulled directly from Harvard Medical School's Staying Healthy section, and their article is Blue Light Has a Dark Side. And you can read my show notes as well as get to the link to that by going to tqaweekly.com/SE6EP20. And let's start off with a very fun fact. I found this article a little ironic, as I actually have to use a screen to talk to you that's lit up. I have three screens in front of me: tablet, cell phone, and 5500K lights. So anybody that does the same thing as me is probably screwed. We're not sleeping anytime soon. So we are 2016. Technology has expanded from our desktops to our pockets. We all have smartphones, tablets, computers, laptops, flat screens, energy efficient lighting bulbs, and other kinds of devices that emit light, especially light stronger than 8 lux, which I checked. It's not very bright. 8 lux. Anything that's 8 lux or less basically lights itself up, and you can see it because it's lit, but it doesn't actually light anything else around it. Light, specifically blue light, which by the way they also focus on because blue light is very intense, has a very intense reaction with us. It's 2 times more intense than being exposed to green light itself. It actually allows us during the day, while the sun is out, to actually have the ability to be more alert, to be more cognitive of our situation, and to suppress the production of the hormone melatonin. The hormone that it's currently screwing with in a lot of our bodies, especially as, let's just point out, our eyes are stupid. So we are used to dealing with the sun as a species. So for millions of years, the only light that we got was from the sun. So our eyes didn't have to adapt to a specific set of lighting. It accepted lighting, period. So any amount of reactiveness to our eyes from sunlight means that we are now reacting in a way that, depending on what you're trying to do, is either good or bad. If you're trying to stay awake, it's not that bad. If you're trying to go to sleep, that might actually pose a problem. This is because light, especially blue light, screws with our 24-hour circadian rhythm. That is the rhythm of which our body actually cycles through the day, where it goes through the alert cognitive state to the more deep sleep state of which we are supposed to sleep. And this one's even more enlightening, up to twice a day in 2 different blocks. So a lot of us try to sleep 8 hours. Apparently we didn't really sleep 8 hours until 200 years ago, where you actually slept like 9 hours, of which during the block we actually have 2 different sets of sleep itself. So we're also sleeping wrong for our species on top of all else. So what's happening is we're screwing with the way that we get deep beneficial sleep. We're screwing with our circadian rhythm, and light itself is the problem. And it's a problem because we're surrounded by so much technology that emits light as a result. There are only so many different things you can do about that if you still want to use technology in itself. If you have computers, monitors, laptops, or tablets, you can use either hardware designed to reduce the amount of blue light emitted, which might be a little bit more expensive, or you can just go and get a screen that you put over it, but it will reduce color accuracy at the same time. So you either buy one that emits less blue light, get a filter that filters out blue light, or you get an app that helps the device emit less blue light. In the case of cell phones, you can get apps, little screens, and of course, depending on the updates, iOS is going to have iOS 9.3, which is currently in beta, which will use time and GPS location to determine whether there should be blue light or not being emitted by the screen itself. I know it was a stolen app from Apple. supposedly anyway, but who knows. That is basically all we can do besides wearing orange tinted glasses, which is possible. There are people that actually wear that, or clear glasses that are designed to filter out blue light, which will range up to $80, maybe even more, depending on where you live. Other suggestions that were made by, obviously, Harvard Medical School is to actually stop using your gadgets 2 to 3 hours in advance. Because they also say to also use lamps that use or emit less than 8 lux of intensity, as well as changing things like your habits. Like if you have night lights, change them with dim red lights, because red light, especially dim red light, actually affects you almost not at all. But the thing is, I have to say to that is, it's probably not going to happen. Most people will still use their tablets, their laptops, their computers, and their cell phones, regardless of what Harvard has to say. And anyway, even if they can link various symptoms to blue light and the night life and lower melatonin secretions, and say that it has an effect on whether or not we get cancer, diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, it's correlative, it's not definitive, and you can still get these diseases themselves and conditions simply by sitting around in front of a computer, whether or not there's blue light or any light whatsoever. So take it with a grain of salt. You might want to get yourself screens and filters or glasses or applications to reduce the amount of blue light or light itself that you're exposed to. You now know what the problem is. Do what you want. Tell me if you like this episode or dislike this episode. Leave your comments, suggestions, and questions down below, obviously. And don't forget to go to tqaweekly.com/SE6EP20 to read what I have to say on it and what Harvard actually had to say on it in the sources of my show. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to become a patron of my Patreon if you're not already. That's available at patreon.com/TQA Weekly, which is also down below in the description. Thank you and have a great day.